What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video. I'm wearing a collared shirt because I had to get some work done today, but we are heading out to make a few stops. Today's actually the first day that we are gonna be picking up some items to make some drastic changes to this 5th gen 2500, and I'm super stoked. First stop's gonna be Camburg Racing. Got to pick up my tires from them, maybe shoot the shit a little bit. Love those guys over there. And then after that, we are going to be shooting to CJC Offroad. We're going to be picking up my Carly springs and King shocks from them. Track bar's not in yet, but I'm just going to go ahead and get this kit installed. Install the track bar a little later, radius arms a little later. But hey, at least we're making some steps in the right direction. And then the final stop is going to be to Innovate Racing. I'm going to be dropping off my wheels that I have from a Raptor. Be picking up the new wheels for this truck, and it is a brand new offset from them, whole new back spacing set specifically for this kit and this truck. So super excited. Check in with you guys later. What's going on, everyone? We are here, the infamous Camburg Racing. Look at all these trucks, man. Got the sweet Gladiator, got an F250, F350 over there, and a sweet little trailer. Let's go inside and see what we're picking up today. What's up, dude?
What's up?
How are you? You know, stopping by, saying hello.
Driving a Dodge these days.
I'm driving a Dodge. I don't want to show what you're looking at. Is it a secret?
No secret.
What's next?
Couple things.
What's big next?
Ordered a Bronco.
Ordered a Bronco.
Ordering a new Super Duty.
Okay.
Selling one of the other Super Duties. So we'll do a crew cab tremor. We're gonna do a whole Camberg and Fox suspension on it. 37-inch General X3 muds with some Method race wheels. Then we'll trick out the interior with a bunch of Scosche product and get this thing dialed and make it the king of the Super Duty overland machines.
Full-size overland. So for those that don't know, this is Jerry Zayden, El Jefe here at Camburg. Makes all the big decisions. What am I picking up today, Jerry?
Looks like you're picking up some tires.
Tires, and then eventually,
I don't know what else you're picking up.
hopefully something
picking
cool for the
something.
Dodge. Cool. Well,
we do have some Dodge surprises coming soon, so that'll be good.
that'll be very good. Sweet. Let's go grab these tires.
All right.
We're in the back of the shop. Jerry just left, but look at all the toys. Always love coming here. It's Jerry's old Raptor. That thing is, it's actually sold. So, yeah, it's, guys got my tires all loaded. Now it's on to the next stop, CJC Offroad. Gotta get a monster while you're here. CJC bound. We are CJC bound. Huge thanks. It's always a good time going to Camburg. Like, if I could work there, I would do it. Which I probably could work there. Maybe I will. Just gotta get Jerry to hire me. But tires are loaded. Jerry's always been not just a very good friend of mine, always answering the call whenever I do, but also supportive in all the adventures and stupid and smart decisions that I've made since we've been friends. He's I would say not just Jerry, but Jason and all the crew there. You want to talk about people who are there to not just make sure the customer is happy, but making the best products possible. They are the quintessential company of that, exactly that. I don't know if I used that word properly, but I think I did. So we're heading over to, like I said, we're going to CJC right now to pick up the suspension components, and then we're going to be heading to Innovate. So yeah, let's race over there. I'm trying to get all this done before 3 o'clock, and it's 1:23, because if I wait till 3 o'clock, I'm all the way out in, where am I at? Huntington Beach. All the way out in Huntington Beach, and I still have to drive all the way back to Westlake. So, should be fun. Should we do another time lapse? I think we should. Time lapse time. Here we go, one of the flagship 2500s. This is actually with their Dominator kit. This thing is unreal. Unreal. So clean. Love this color. Massive 3.0s in the rear. Such a sick truck. All right, guys, I'm here at CJC Offroad. For those that don't know who they are, if you have a full-size vehicle, seriously, or if you're just looking for wheels or suspension products, whether that's Carly, Thurin, pretty much anything with full size, right? So I'm gonna introduce you to Cole. Cole's one of the big wigs over here. You'll probably see him in actually we'll see him in all the videos. So without further ado, this is Cole from CJC Offroad. Quick summary, what got you guys into creating CJC and catering to this market? Because, I mean, you guys are really the go-to people for guys with full-size vehicles that either come from the pre-runner side or from the smaller truck side and still want to have the capability that they used to have, but just have more space, have a diesel, that kind of stuff. So what brought you guys to it?
So we actually started out as enthusiasts. So we've always been into the straight axle diesel truck platforms. Early days of core suspension back in the day. That's what we were running on our trucks. Carly comes along. We actually got to know the owner pretty well, and we were really looking for something that, we go out and run our trucks, but you'd also take tow a toy hauler with it. You basically use the truck for more than just a pre-runner, right? There's a lot of really cool pre-runner builds out there, but they're not that practical for most guys for daily driver applications.
Exactly.
So for what we want to do with it, or with our trucks, Carly and Thurin and guys like that really came along and filled that niche. These trucks, they get better mileage than most V8 trucks. They handle really well once you have good suspension on them.
I'm getting 20 miles a gallon right now.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't do that with a typical pre-runner.
No.
Right? I mean, so, really cool platforms, really durable, right? You beat the crap out of these trucks for the most part. They, you just drive them home when you're done. You can't do that with the Ford Ranger, right?
No.
I mean,
couldn't do that with my Raptor.
Yeah, exactly.
Couldn't do that even with my long travel Tundra. It got a little, was a cool truck to drive down the road, but
yeah,
every day it just kind of got a little weird.
And then there's the fun factor, right? These trucks have so much torque. You throw 37-inch tires under these trucks and, they don't really hesitate, right? So it's night and day compared to what we were used to working with before these came along. So I feel this is actually the ideal platform.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of other people seem to as well. It's really catching on. We're getting trucks coming here from, all over the country now. A lot of guys doing real similar builds to actually what you're going to be doing with yours.
Yep.
And yeah, a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, absolutely. And one of the things that, a lot of people tend to have issues when they're not part of the full-size portion is, especially with my Tundra, I guess I could use an example, is when I decided to go up to the 35s, to the 37s, I did have that instance where I did have to re-gear to compensate. Right. Even with a supercharger, I had to re-gear it. So with this platform, what is the general gear ratio that you guys are seeing, and is there a need to re-gear with the 37s?
So the most common tire size, as you mentioned, that comes out of our shop is generally 37-inch tires. Funny thing is, I'd say about 90% of the trucks, 95% of trucks come through here never get re-geared. So they usually end up with the factory, in this case, 373 gears. Personally, I like 410 or even 430. My biggest thing with these is you don't want to gear them too low, right? You put 456 gears on one of these trucks with 37-inch tires, you actually end up, basically screaming down the highway, 2,500 RPM, things like that. So there's always a balancing point with it. But believe it or not, stock 373 gears on this truck will still get really good mileage with 37s on the highway.
Okay.
If you're not towing extremely heavy, you don't really have to worry about, re-gearing, I'd say, for most people. There's definitely a lot of debate about that online, as you'll see when you start reading about these.
Yeah, but that's online. It's a debate on everything, whether an apple's an apple, an orange is an orange. It happens.
Right.
Yeah.
But as someone, I've been driving these trucks for 15 years. Every single one's been a Dodge or Ford diesel, right? Probably 3 of my trucks have been re-geared. The rest are actually, usually on stock gears, 37-inch tires. You'd be surprised; they actually work really well.
Awesome. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be loading up the suspension for this truck. We're going with the Carly pin top with a few other accessories. So we'll dive into that once we get to the boxes. And yeah, well, welcome to CJC Offroad.
Appreciate you guys visiting.
All right, so we have, I would say 80% of the suspension components out here. I knew this coming here that there's a few items that just aren't complete yet. The guys are working super hard on getting them done. But the good news is I'm gonna be able to get this kit installed and I can be rolling down the road and I can install the final parts, which I'll have Cole go over later down the road once they show up. So Cole, let's dive into what is all out here, the thought process behind it, and why this is one of the most top-selling kits that you guys sell, that Carly creates. And then maybe do a quick little insight into what the install time is for the average Joe to do it in their driveway, which is what's great about this kit, is it can be done for the most part in someone's driveway.
So what we have here is a Carly 3 1/4 pin top system. This is basically the same system whether your truck's a 2014 through 2020. This is basically Carly's flagship system for this year range of truck. This actually addresses front and rear spring rates, so it has front springs, rear springs, and it also includes all the necessary geometry correction components to put this together. So most lift kits, you'll find you bolt a lift onto a truck and you're basically doing things caster wise to compensate for the lift, right? So you're not really aligning the truck like a stock truck. Carly really put the time and R&D into building these kits basically to make these align like a stock truck. That's something you just don't see too often in this industry. It's one of the things I think that makes the Carly product stand out amongst everything else. So we've been really thrilled with that. Another cool thing with this kit, the King 2.5 shocks. So when Carly was R&Ding these kits, they basically put together a set of King shocks, and it's basically a tester set of shocks, and they came with their own custom piston design. And basically throughout the research and development phase of designing these kits, the Carly basically spent, I think it was about 6, 7, 8 months, something like that, just tuning this particular kit, right? So guys that worked at Carly were daily driving a 2014 Ram at the time that they were basically making corrections to on a daily basis to dial this in and get the best possible, not only street ride, but off-road performance as well. Cool thing about this is, a lot of guys, I guess, associate King shocks with just something that you're going to run hard off-road, right? This is more of a weekend warrior design. So the way Carly tuned these shocks, they're intended to not only improve on-road ride quality, for daily driving, which is what we're all doing with these trucks. They do work really well off-road, but you're not compromising one or the other. Again, that has to do with the custom shock tune they're doing, as well as the custom pistons, something that most actual off-road companies aren't doing with anything, right? So,
well, yeah, and I think one of the biggest things that people have misconstrued, especially when you're going to the full-size stuff, is that they see a ton of bracket lift stuff. They see a bunch of just going for that lift height instead of going for the actual performance of the shock and the suspension system. And a lot of it does come down to the time and the engineering of the parts, but also the geometry of the vehicle needs to be appropriate, because not only do you need the vehicle to perform properly, but we're also talking about the lifeline of your tires to your tread. Your tread can go to it'll be gone super quick, cupping. You want to be able to align this vehicle properly with the suspension, and that's a lot of times people just want to say, oh, I want 6 inches of lift, but they're really not increasing their actual suspension travel, and that's a huge issue. Which with this kit, you're actually the goal isn't to get lift height. The goal is to get the proper height to get a specific amount of improved suspension travel.
Correct. So a lot of guys just like, why don't these come in 6-inch lifts? Why aren't they 8-inch lifts, right? It's because this is designed to be functional, right? So you're still fitting 37-inch tires, you're still getting the cool off-road look, but you have a very practical, usable setup where you're not compromising in one form or another, and that's actually why we like these products so much, and that's why they've become so popular lately, because they work so well.
So real quick rundown. So we already went over, we're running some King 2.5-inch custom tuned shocks with stainless steel shafts, which is another thing that is super important, because a lot of times what's going to happen is you're going to start getting rock chips. It's going to happen, especially if you take your truck off road. You're going to start getting rock chips, and there's actually, on the ones that aren't stainless steel, they have a coating on it, and that coating is actually can start to flake. It's happened on shocks that I've had in the past, and what that flaking could do is there's a little O-ring inside, and it'll actually can cut that O-ring, and you can start having a leaking shock at some point, correct? Right.
So even average OEM King shocks you see on the Tacoma Tundras around town, they all have chrome-plated shafts on them, and that, that's why you ask certain people like, oh, the King shocks leak. Well, when they're designed right like this with stainless shafts, they actually do a really good job. In fact, since Carly switched to stainless shafts about 5-6 years ago, we probably had to rebuild, maybe 10 shocks over this whole time. So it's crazy. It's a game changer, really.
So with King shocks, what else do we have here? We have adjustable track bar.
Adjustable track bar is a big part of this kit. This is actually what recenters your front axle side to side. So stock track bar, the bushings are okay for supporting the unsprung weight of stock wheels and tires, right? You go to a big 37-inch tire with stock track bar, you're gonna blow out those bushings. So Carly addressed that. Frame side's a uniball design, super heavy duty Heim joint rod end on the axle side. And again, it's adjustable, so it will recenter the front axle side to side. So basically what this is doing is it's helping to keep your steering feeling tighter for longer throughout the life of the truck. And if, at some point joints do wear out, they're replaceable, so it's fully serviceable, for the life of the truck.
Which can be found on your side as well.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we have we got the coil springs.
Yep. So
linear rate,
front and rear coil springs. So 3 1/4 front, about an inch and a half in the rear. Front springs are linear rate. Rear springs are actually multi-rate. And again, this is part of I was talking about earlier how much time Carly puts into tuning these systems. They probably went through 6, 7, 8 revisions of just this coil spring setup through the process of designing these kits. Something you don't see too often.
Yeah, so. Definitely. And then we have the radius arm drop bracket. So that's the one thing that isn't ready yet, which is totally fine because I can actually run the radius arm drop bracket with the factory radius arms.
Correct.
Until the other ones show up.
Yep. So radius arms are handmade, so they are running a little behind at the moment. So fortunately, these kits are designed to also function with the stock radius arms, which is what we're doing here. Variety of other smaller components, rear track bar drop, corrects the roll center of the rear suspension. There's a front diff guard, relatively inexpensive piece, helps protect your differential, especially running places like Barstow where you can smack the diff off road. All the other supporting components, front bump drops, rear bump drops, sway bar end links for the rear. Basically everything necessary to have a truck that drives as it should.
And it's a really good kit. They also make a Dominator kit, which actually I'll show a B-roll of the other Ram that's here with the Dominator kit on it, just to see how extreme it can go. But the reality is that this kit is more focused for those who have the ability at times to go off-road and want to have a nice ride, but also do daily drive their trucks. So it's something that the on-road performance is just as outstanding as the off-road performance from the stock level.
Right. So again, I look forward to hearing what your feedback is on this because you're going to get firsthand, tomorrow an experience of how this thing is going to drive. Mm-hmm. We've been very impressed with them, and I think you will find the same and your experience as well.
So for those who are interested in terms of like if they're relatively technically savvy, what is the general install time, and can they do it in their driveway?
So believe it or not, most of these kinds of systems are actually installed on people's driveways. You'd be surprised. I'd say this system here, as equipped, roughly 6 hours, maybe 7-8 hours if you really take your time with it. So it's really not too involved. Each component has its own set of instructions, and another cool thing that we offer is even on weekends, if you have tech support questions, if you feel you run into some kind of snag, or you're not sure how something works, we actually have customers actually call on weekends and leave a message. We'll actually return the call and try to help answer those questions. So that's kind of a big part of this as well, because even if you don't have a lot of experience doing this, as long as you're willing to follow the instructions, as long as you're willing to use a torque wrench, things like that, it's actually all doable in your driveway, believe it or not.
Very cool. Well, let's get this stuff loaded. So that is it from CJC Offroad. I'm gonna get this kit installed with a few friends, a few curse words, and a lot of beer. Hopefully get it on tomorrow. So want to thank Cole so much for the hospitality. What's the best way that people can get in touch with you, see what you guys are doing? Any YouTube, Instagram?
So we have a YouTube channel, CJC Offroad, Instagram, CJC Offroad. Those are both updated almost daily with various content. So a lot of different combinations like this. Feel free to reach us by phone. Our website's www.cjcoffroad.com, and we're more than happy to answer any questions you might have.
They do answer the phone on the weekends. I can attest to that, because I think I called on Saturday originally, and I actually saw them on their YouTube. They do a very good job on their YouTube. So make sure to give them a follow, and I think it's time we try and get this truck not looking so stock and boring. So once again, Cole, thank you so much. Looking forward to getting the kit on.
Enjoy it, Travis.
Cool. It's deathly hot. I don't even know. It says 98. Don't believe it. So yeah, just left CJC Offroad. Super rad people over there. They are cranking work out like crazy. And like I said, I found them on YouTube. And then started doing my research into what they do, started watching other videos. They're very informative. They actually have really good videos. And so yeah, super stoked to be somewhat collaborating with them on this one and a few other companies on this specific build. We are actually shooting over to Innovate Racing, final stop of the day, thank God, but also at the same time, it's 3 o'clock and I'm in Fullerton. And I have to go to Thousand Oaks. So it's gonna be like 60 miles, 70 miles, and it's gonna take me probably 3 hours. So a few drinks are gonna happen tonight. Like I said, we're gonna be doing the install tomorrow in my driveway, but it's gonna be a separate video of this because this one's probably gonna be a long one as it is. So appreciate you guys coming and taking and watching this video. Let's head overhead. Let's just go to Innovate, drop these Raptor wheels off, and pick up the brand new set of wheels for this Ram 2500 and the newest backspacing offset design from Innovate, which I'm so very much excited to be showcasing for everyone on behalf of, I guess, Innovate. So yeah, it's a little tester child, I guess. But yeah, off we go. What are you doing?
This is the glorious part of the job here, right? I don't know, I like when the barrels look nice, so I clean them up a little bit. It's kind of like brushing the barrels. That's
Do you do that more than brush your teeth? Yeah.
yeah.
Probably a lot more than how I brush my teeth.
Yeah, you
Those
know,
are cute. What are those?
you're a wheel guy, you know, it's kind of like what you have to do, right?
Yeah. Well, guys, welcome back to Innovate. You probably guessed it from Jason over here doing a little cleaning. These are nice. Are these mine? Oh. You want to brush them a little more? Or are you good?
That's about as good as it's gonna get. For you, no, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. How you been?
Oh man, good.
Yeah?
As you can see, this move is.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, guys, he's moving.
Can you tell?
Usually this place is like stacked to the roof, all the way to the back.
Yep. I'm tired and worn out, but excited at the same time.
Those are gonna be so sick.
Yeah.
So, explain to people the difference. Obviously, we were gonna throw some wheels on the Raptor. Clearly, I got rid of it. But what is new about these ones that separates it from the others?
Yeah, so this one, we kind of took, it's kind of cool. We took, I guess, some engineering from the all-wheel drive trophy trucks and the Ultra 4 trucks that are using these, you know, crazy spindles and underdrives and stuff like that. So this is a high offset beadlock. So we've been selling them for a little while, but predominantly for like race trucks. And so we changed the forging, the tooling a little bit to get the offset just where we wanted it. So these ended up to like a 5 3/4 back spacing, 17x9 beadlock. So for the Dodge Ram trucks, especially the new ones, this is like the magic. This is the setup, you know. You were just at CJC,
like,
so you know.
Oh yeah.
Those guys are the guys. So this is when we worked with those guys on trying to get the offset to where you don't get rub, but you get the most travel, and you know, retain your stock steering capabilities, all that good
Yeah,
stuff.
they seem they were pretty excited to see these things out and about. So
Yeah. So we have the beadlocks now, and we have the simulated beadlock, non-beadlock wheels too. So we tooled up on everything so we could do.
Is this the first set going out?
Yeah, this is probably the first batch of the 5 3/4 beadlocks that we've done. Yeah.
It's a party, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It's a party.
You're at the forefront here. Yeah,
It's okay,
so.
pioneering.
Yeah.
So that's how
I
it
wouldn't
is.
say we actually fit a bunch of 6-inch backspace, which is a positive 25mm offset. We fit a bunch of those, and we found they kind of pulled the front end in a little too tight. You know, it's pretty close to stock, but when you put bigger tires in, you get some rubbing issues and all that. So going to the 5 3/4, which is a positive 18, we're just pushing it out a 1/4 inch, but we found that makes the difference. So.
Sweet. Well, I'm gonna try and get these on tomorrow. I just gotta find someone who can do them right.
Yeah.
So
labor of love with beadlocks.
well, sweet. I'm excited. Let's get these wheels offloaded and get these things loaded. And I can't wait to sit in traffic for 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would suck. Well,
Yeah, we did it.
we did it.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna go get these mounted in North Hollywood. Remember when I said I was gonna be out of here this way by 3? Can't even talk right now. But just to refresh people's memory, how is the best way for those who are interested, especially for you Ram guys, full size guys that are gonna be running Carly suspension? I would assume Thurin would be the same, pretty close.
Yep.
How is the best way for people to order these wheels, which is actually built for this truck? It's built for the Ram 2500, proper offset, proper back spacing. This is gonna be sweet. So what's the best way?
The easiest is website, so innovateracing.com. Head to there, and then you can find it in the high offset beadlock or high offset simulated beadlock sections. Call us, email us. The email is sales@innovateracing.com. So easy enough to get hold of us.
And keep an eye out for, he's got a new shop, so we're gonna have to be stopping by there and doing some burnouts because it's that big.
Yeah, it's so big.
Cool. All right, guys. Well, now I gotta go get these mounted. Thank you so much, dude. Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. Remember when I said, I may have already said this actually. Yeah, I'm way off my schedule, but picked up the wheels. Obviously, you're gonna see it in the video. Innovate. These things are so sick. one of the issues I ran into, yes, I can install the tires on the wheels myself, but I don't want to. So, downside of Ware and Westlake, Thousand Oaks, there's not many people that mount beadlocks because technically they're, not going to say it. I don't know who's watching. So I'm actually racing to North Hollywood. My buddy Stevie over at SS Motorsports in Simi Valley, which actually I used to work at before I went in the military, and I worked at after I got out of the military. Love those guys over there. They have a shop they recommend in North Hollywood called NoHo Tires and Wheels, and they are willing to do the work. So I'm racing over there to have them rip the TPMS sensors out of my tires right now, install them on the beadlocks, get the tires mounted on the beadlocks, and then race home and stay up until probably 6 a.m. tomorrow morning with my buddy Corey to install the suspension. So, should be fun. Should be fun. So I'll check in with you guys when I get to NoHo Tires and Wheels, I think is what they're called. 4 stops, not 3, 4. It's hot as a beep out here though. Check in with you guys. All right, now this is the final stop of the day. We're here. I don't know if you can see that. We're at NoHo Tires and Wheels, linking up with Jesse. Jesse was kind enough to take me in last second to get these General Grabber MTs installed, 37, 12 and a half, 17 on the Innovate wheels, the forged beadlocks, which are 17 by 9, 5 3/4 backspace. So in a few moments, introduce you to Jesse, and we'll get installing on these. Everyone meet Jesse. Jesse, everyone. So what we're doing real quick is obviously the suspension's on the truck. So Jesse is pulling all the TPMS sensors off the factory wheels. We're gonna get the General Grabber X3s mounted to the Innovate beadlocks with the TPMS sensor in those. That way, once I'm done, I'm actually installing the suspension tonight, so it's gonna be an all-nighter. I say hot Cheetos, man, those puffs are way hotter than normal ones. So yeah, that way once we get the suspension on tonight, I can actually just throw these right on and go get aligned and balanced. So that's where we're at. Checking with you in a few minutes. Well, let's see how this one balances out. We've actually, has it been steady? 7.5 pounds?
7.5, yes, sir.
Let's see what this one comes out as. Mind you, these guys have wrapped every single one of their tools with tape so that it doesn't touch or ruin it. 950, that's good. But yeah, like I was saying, they wrap all their tools in tape so that it doesn't scar any of the powder coat or finishing or anything like that. So if you're in the area, NoHo Tires and Wheels. And it's like 8 o'clock right now, so it's another cool thing. We are on the last one. I'm gonna add a little picture right now to give you guys a little sneak peek of what it's going to look like. And that's a wrap, everyone. Wheels and tires are done. They're loaded. And I'm on my way to go install my suspension. Huge thanks to Jesse over at NoHo Tires and Wheels. Jesse?
Thank you.
No, thank you. If you guys are in the general area, Jesse, what's the best way for them to find you? Are you on Instagram, website?
Yep, sir.
Yelp. Go on Yelp. When you come here, make sure you leave a review. And yeah, let's get cranking on it. All right, that is it for the video. Next one's going to be installing suspension, so it'll be dropping soon after. So trying to get this one edited, maybe get it posted next week. Yeah, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel to watch the process of this build and other fun activities. I'll be linking all the people who helped me out, all the companies that have supported me thus far, and the companies that I've bought products from thus far. Let me turn that light on. And then the shops, so especially like NoHo Tire, and yeah, see it below. Like I said, install should take 5 hours supposedly. My buddy is quite the mechanic, so I'll probably just be watching and drinking while he works and drinks, but we shall see how it goes. Until next time.